Hey, what's up, dudes and dudettes? Just noticed some more equipment on the side of the road up here at one of my neighbors' houses. It looks like they sat out, I think it was a trimmer and a leaf blower, but they look like they might be half decent ones. They look like they might be Echoes. So I'm gonna drive back by there. I was actually just on my way to grab some food, and I'm gonna drive back by there and see if they're still there, and if they are, pick them up and see what we can do with them. Ooh, that's a Stihl. All right, so the leaf blower is a Stihl, like literally a Stihl. I got that on a Stihl for $0. The Husqvarna, it's got one of those long, it's a long shaft. It looks like it might be an upgrade from like your typical, entry-level machine. It wants me to buckle my belt. I hate this car. Buckle your belt, buckle your belt. Even though you're right down the street from where you live and you're going 15, piss off. Piss off. Even the stuff that you buy has Control Freak built into it anymore. Okay, so here they are. Let's see what we got. This is a Husqvarna 128 LD. I'll look that up in a bit. How much you want to bet though that it's going to be carb issues, just like every other trimmer. Same with this, probably carb issue. And a new carb will cost me 12 bucks most likely, and it'll probably start up first damn pull. So we've got those two guys to fix. Got that I found the other night. We got this guy that I've got parts for that now, but the bulbs that came in are actually too small. I don't know if they made two, I guess they made two different sizes. I didn't realize, but the bulb's too small for that. This, I'm pretty sure I know what the problem is on this. We'll do a troubleshooting separate video on that. So I've got a few projects here we can work out for the next couple days. All right, so here is this Stihl leaf blower. I guess that's where it was sold initially. Should have been a tag on here showing the model number, but the model number appears to be gone off that side. I wonder if there's another place with it on there. Okay, it's got a latch to leave it on. Ooh, it's getting stuck. No, maybe not. All right, what do we got here? We got on and off. That's gonna be off. That'll be on, right? Kind of hard to see, but it looks like that's the case. There's our choke. Looks like this is choke off. That's choke on right there. Alright, this actually does have a high and a low setting. It tells you to screw it all the way in and turn out one turn, and screw all the way in and turn out 3/4 turns for the high. So it actually gives you the settings. That's kind of cool. Gasoline. This is a 2-stroke, so it's going to take some 2-stroke mix, which appears like what we have here. Looks like it might be a little bit cloudy, but that's Maybe a couple little floaters in there, but nothing major. Overall, it looks fairly clean. But here's another engine with some fuel in it on the curb. I'm just going to give it a couple cranks and see what it does. I mean, it's most likely, I mean, look at this. It's caked. It's most likely going to need a carb clean, but let's try to prime it. I don't hear anything going in. I think it's probably, yeah, that bulb's busted. You can see there. You can see there on the bulb's busted. Looks like to me. It's definitely seen better days. I'll try to give it a crank. Okay, will not start. It's easy to see why it was left. I think I'll probably just go ahead and pull the carb on this one because it's most likely what it is. All right, let's see what's in the breather here. Ooh, God. Oh, that's bad right there. That's real bad. Okay, you see the filter's just crumbling. Yeah, I'd say that's definitely bad right there. It's disgusting. Okay, so that's choke on. Let's choke off. And got one nut right here. I wonder if I have to get this entire shroud off here to get it out. I don't know. Okay, these screws take a T25 Torx, so we'll pop these off and get this off of here and get a little better look at what we're seeing. Okay, just like on the lawnmowers that we work on, this has a magneto. Here is that. We could check for spark. It might be wise to do that, but and plus on this design, obviously you're going to have a kill switch up here instead of the usual switch that's attached to the the grip on a lawnmower. So that's here. Now what we could do is take one of these off just to make sure that nothing's getting shorted here, but I doubt that's the case anyway. It's most likely not going to be a switch, and it's probably not also going to be a magneto, just judging by what we're seeing here with the bowl, or the, excuse me, the primer bulb. That's old. This whole thing is pretty old and been neglected. I mean, obviously that's nasty. We'll just pop the carb off here. I believe we're going to be looking at got this right here. It might be the only thing holding it. Let me get something for that. Okay, this is going to be practically impossible to get off here because this linkage is, I mean, I don't know if you can be able to see it. This linkage right here. See, when I pull the trigger, that's the throttle linkage. And it's going to be really hard to get off here because it's the carb has to come way back. I think I got to take this whole thing apart. I think I got to take. Maybe it's just this upper piece I've got to take off. It looks okay. Let's try that. Okay, now this is the piece with the throttle attached. So yeah, that's what you got to do. You take this piece off right here, and then the throttle linkage cable, or not cable, but the throttle linkage will come like this with it. Yeah, there we go. You got to get those two pieces off apparently at the same time. So that's how that goes. Look at that. Wow, that's disgusting. Man, this thing is going to need a bath. I'm going to do that before I do anything else. I'm going to give this a complete bath. And as for this, it needs one too. That's also really disgusting. That's about. That might be thumbnail worthy right there. As disgusting as that all is. But I think I'm going to plug these fuel lines, plug that intake, and probably pressure wash this out at some point. But let's address this. Okay, let's see if we can get this thing relatively clean before we put it in the ultrasonic cleaner. It's, you know, I don't like putting anything in the ultrasonic that's this dirty. It just, there's no sense in doing that when you can get the bulk of it off like this. I usually just use Dawn dish liquid and an old toothbrush, just a real soft bristled old toothbrush, and get as much of this external gunk off as it possibly can before you put something in the ultrasonic, because it just, you're just putting that dirt right back on the part, I think, if you put it in there with it. Yeah, now, you know, most people obviously would say don't even bother cleaning that. You know, don't even try. You might need a gasket or something anyway, and then you're going to have to, you'll have wasted all the time, you know, trying to clean it. And I think, you know, if you're running a full-time shop or something like that, then yes, that's probably correct. Well, the bulb seems to be pulling something now. It's pulling stuff from right here, so it makes me wonder if the fuel line was either clogged, which is possible. It could have had a bad, yeah, it's pulling that water inside the carb just fine from right there. See? It's actually sucking up water. So, like I said, it makes me wonder whether the fuel line was possibly clogged, or there was a problem inside the fuel tank. There's definitely some kind of problem with fuel delivery on this. I mean, just given what we were seeing and given the state of this car, definitely. But I also wonder whether there's something wrong with the lines or the tank, or maybe the fuel filter, you know, could be clogged, something like that too. It's cool that they actually give you the starting settings right on top of the machine. You know, they tell you where to turn the high and low adjustments to start out with. So that's really good, particularly since we're going to have to disassemble this carb to clean it. So let's that's about the best we can make the outside of it for now. I think that's about the most I can reach without going deeper into it. Alright, let's completely disassemble this. It should only be a few screws. You got these 4 screws right here, and then we'll take all these adjustments, various adjustments and stuff off and apart, and put this in the ultrasonic and see what we end up with. It seems like, I mean, the bulb is definitely broken. Look at the bulb. Oh yeah, yeah, the bulb's broken. See there? Just, there's not enough suction for sure to suck up anything. It might have even broken here in the last few minutes, worse than it was, but it's gonna need a new bulb for sure. Hibiscus. All right. Now this little gasket, if it breaks, it's a diaphragm really. If it breaks, that's we're gonna have to get a kit for sure. Sorry about all the noise. Yeah, this is gonna be, well, we might have salvaged that gasket. We'll see. Maybe. Okay, there's another diaphragm on this side. I really need a razor blade. Should go get one, shouldn't I? If I say I need something, I probably should just go get it instead of continuing on. I think it's gonna need a replacement kit anyway. Maybe even just buy a replacement carb here. Honestly, that is pretty well. That's pretty well sealed onto that. Now there's a tear right there. See that? Hell, I probably just put that there just now, but look how fragile that is. That's not even worth trying to save there, is it? Balls. Nah, it was so petrified and stuck. There was no way. I would say it's time to probably look for a replacement carb rather than mess around with this. So what do you say we just do that? Get a replacement carb, new fuel filter, new fuel lines, and just start from there. I think that's gonna be the way to go. Okay, we're back with this Stihl leaf blower. I ordered a new carburetor online, got it in. I think it was I don't know. I'll put it up on the screen how much it was. I can't even remember right now. It was like $12 or so, 12, 15 bucks, something like that. But it was came with the carburetor, came with both of the new gaskets, came with a fuel filter, which I did not swap out, came with new fuel line, and this is a integrated fuel line that are on these models. You can see the original one's still in there. It's in good shape. There are no holes or anything like that, no cracks, no rotting, so I'm gonna leave that one until it perishes, and then we'll put this on. The kit that I bought also came with a spark plug. I'm gonna assume that we don't need to change that for now, at least. So you get all of that. Also a new air filter. The other one, as you'll recall, was completely corroded. It was just falling apart. The foam was so old it was just completely gone. So that's good. New air filter. This is a two-part air filter as well. The foam goes on the outside, and then you've got more of a felt on the back side of it. So that is all new. Once again, this is kind of a cool thing that Stihl does on some of these machines. They actually put the markings on these for how to adjust the screws. So it tells you the high and low screw. It identifies which one is the low, which one is the high adjust, and here they are accordingly. So what you do is you actually screw these all the way in, and then you back the low out one full turn, and then you back the high out 3/4 of a turn. That gives you a starting point, and if you need to fine adjust, you can from there. And then of course there's another adjustment screw back inside of there. You can maybe barely see it, but there's a hole that you can access it through right here, and that is for the idle. But we will try this out as soon as we get some daylight tomorrow to give it a shot. So I've done a lot of cleaning on this thing. I did not want to film every bit of cleaning that I did on this one, but I don't know, you can compare it to some of the old pictures. I mean, I cleaned the crap out of this thing. It had dirt in every single orifice that you can imagine, and I've cleaned out a lot of it, and I still didn't get all of it, but there's a lot that's been cleaned out. So yeah, we'll give this thing a start up hopefully tomorrow, and hopefully it just cranks right up. All right, we'll choke it first. All right, I want to have the screwdriver ready too to adjust. Yeah, gonna need adjustment. Okay, so I'm not going to show this whole thing. I'm going to spare you some of the gory details here, but, you know, I adjusted and adjusted around on this for quite a while before I discovered that this wasn't an adjustment issue, the reason that it just died. It died because there was actually a little bit of water in the fuel. The fuel had a couple of floaties, like, you know, some debris in there, but it didn't look like there was any water when I was looking at it. It looked like clean fuel to me. And not until I took the carb back off the machine and looked inside of it did I see little droplets of water in there. So that was what caused it to stall out. Also, these Chinese carbs that are replacements for the factory carbs, they do not come with the same adjustment screws. On the original carburetor, on the adjustment screws, there are these little limiters that kind of limit the amount that you can screw those in. So the written adjustments on top of the machine, you know, the 1 full turnout and the 3/4 turnout for the high, those are not valid with the Chinese ones. Just so you know, you're going to have to screw those out further than you normally would with a factory carb that has those restrictors on the screws. So just so you know, for your own reference, I will probably do a little clip here and show you how far those actually have to be turned in. But first, let's give it a little bit of a test. Eventually, I did get this thing going after I figured out the fuel issue. Alright, so that's going to do it for this little leaf blower. Yet another one that we found on the curb in the trash that was just in need of a little TLC and a carburetor. I mean, extremely common. I did have some problems with the carburetor for a little while there. I had to kind of take it apart. It quit on me, and then I had to take it apart and try to get things back together, and then screwed up my mixing settings. So it took me a while to find those back, but after I have, it seems to be running like a top. I've tried a few more times and just make sure everything's okay. Okay, we're gonna see how many turns it takes to get each of these screws, and these settings are perfect now where they are. So I'm gonna see exactly how far out each one of them is, but first we have to screw them all the way in order to tell. So I'm gonna start with the high. There's a half turn. Take this off so you can see. Full turn. 1.5. 2. It's 2 turns out. Half. Full. 1.5. 2. 2 turns out on the high. On the low, we are looking at, there's half, 1, 1.5, 2, 2.5, 3. So it's 3 turns out. Start out with these Chinese carbs. 3 turns out on the low, and 2 turns out on the high, and that should get you within the ballpark. Okay, so that'll do it for this one. Hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, hit subscribe. We'll see y'all later. Why not? Why not?
Are you filming me right now?
I'm filming you right now. Oh, look at these. They're hibiscus.
Daddy, look behind you. Look down. That's poop.
That's not poop. That's where I, it's not poop.
Why is there so many flies there?